What's going on, everybody? My name is Dan the Realtor, your local DMV real estate agent. Today I'm going to be giving you 4 tips to make your best offer on a home. Let's get into it. Now that the market's shifting, you really want to make sure that you put your best foot forward when you're submitting offers on properties. While a lot of people are sitting back waiting for interest rates to drop down or waiting for prices to drop down, this is a really good time for you to jump into the market while there's not a lot of competition. And here's 4 tips that are going to allow you to put your best foot forward when you're going to be submitting an offer on a property. And make sure you watch this video all the way to the end for the bonus tip. The beautiful thing about buying in a market like this, most people are either waiting for interest rates to come down or they're waiting for prices to come down, or a combination of both. It's a good time for you to jump into the market while everybody's basically scared. And then when the interest rates come down, you just refi a little bit later. So let's go into the 4 tips for making the best offer on a house. Tip number 4, use your real estate agent to help you negotiate. In all negotiations, it's always better to negotiate through a third party because the buck doesn't stop with you. During the pandemic, because interest rates were so low, that increased the buyer pool. And that increase in buyers consequently pushed prices up. And a lot of buyers ended up having to forego inspections, ended up having to forego financing contingencies. They even had to forego getting closing cost concessions because they just wanted the house. Now that the buying frenzy is over, interest rates are a little bit higher, but it's a really good time because in this market, you can get closing cost help, you definitely can get seller concessions, and you can even get price reductions in this market. Basically, you have way more negotiating power than you did in the past 5 years. So if you're looking for a deal, now's the time to get a deal. Number 3, consider your offer carefully. Now that the market has normalized, you actually have time to think about an offer. You don't have to run home and try to submit an offer as fast as possible and not even consider the comps or all the other sales that have already happened in the neighborhood. You can really sit, think about the offer, analyze the numbers, and figure out the offer that works best for you. Now, don't get me wrong, you're not gonna get a house for $50,000 below the list price. It's not there yet, but you definitely have more time to think about the offer and submit a quality offer that's gonna get accepted. Before we get to the rest of the content, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel and hit the notifications button so that you're the first to know when I drop new content. Number 2, know your budget. One of the biggest mistakes I see prospective home buyers making right now is the waiting for interest rates to come down mentality. But when you ask them specifically what interest rate are you waiting for, they don't really know. The key is to know your budget and know how much you can afford per month. That way, you'll just be buying based on how much monthly mortgage you can afford and not what the interest rates are doing. The best way to know your numbers is to talk to a lender so you can get pre-approved for a loan. That lender is going to look at your debt to income ratio. He's going to look at how much you make per year, and he's going to qualify you based on how much you make. They're not going to overqualify you, so you'll never be paying too much for a house. And number 1, remember that houses that are priced right are still selling. Even though the market has shifted, we're still technically in the seller's market. That's one thing that you really need to remember when you're submitting offers. Most people who own their homes now aren't really in distress. The number of distressed sales has decreased significantly since the Great Recession. So the chances of you finding a seller that wants to give you a huge discount on price is not very likely. A large majority of people who own homes now are locked in at 3%, below 3%, or slightly above 3%. Most of the time, if they don't get their offer, they'll either put their property off the market or they'll just stay on the market until they get their number. There's a very small amount of people that really need to get out of their house right away. So you'll want to consider your offer carefully, and remember, houses that look good are still selling. And the bonus tip, if you're looking to make your best offer this year, is you want to learn the lingo. You want to understand the terms. Real estate agents and real estate professionals, we all have this lingo and throwing around a bunch of words that you may not understand. So if you want to bump up your real estate lingo and understand these terms a little bit better, take a look at my next video. I'm Dan the Realtor. I'll see you next time.